Imagine a world in which a single act of kindness could ripple out across communities, transforming the lives of people in ways we never imagined. I'm here to tell you, that's not only the world we live in, but it's the singular reason we continue and thrive. I'm going to take you back about 13 years. I wanted to write a book, and I decided I needed a co-author, a different perspective. I wanted to give someone an opportunity to share their ideas and their expertise with the world, and I found the perfect person. Unfortunately, the publishing industry let us know pretty quickly that no one buys healthcare books. It's true, no one buys healthcare books. But we had a meaningful relationship, and we had meaningful relationships with people in the publishing industry. They trusted us. They knew we wanted to do good. Fast forward about 11 years, and one of those publishers called, and he said, I've got a guy who wants to write a book, and he wants a co-author, a different perspective. He wants to give someone an opportunity to share their ideas and expertise with the world. Well, I met Monty Wood, and it's because of his generosity that I'm on this stage today. Together, we wrote a book about the superpower unique to humans that is generosity. He brought the business, I brought the science, but it was him and his unwavering belief that the good you put out in the world will attract success to you. It gave me the opportunity to deep dive into the science and explore human behavior and why we do the things we do and how it keeps us all connected. It also showed me that when you continuously in your personal and professional lives are kind to people, when those publishers called and asked for a recommendation for a doctor, a favor, an introduction to someone in my network, I never hesitated and I never had an expectation of return. And it came full circle. Generosity is greatly misunderstood. A lot of people think of money, philanthropy, and don't get me wrong, the giving of one's treasure can be truly generous. But it's so much more than that. The giving of your time, your energy, your support, your mentorship, your wisdom, those can move mountains for other people. And so we redefine generosity as any act of kindness or support given with no expectation of exchange or return from the recipient. And the important part there is no expectation, because then it becomes a transaction and not true gift giving. Now, we're not the first to come to this idea. In fact, throughout history, civilizations have been built, the cornerstone that giving of oneself is a virtue. We've seen it in Greek and Egyptian writings, and yet it still seems profound. We even see it in modern day activities, hurricane relief efforts in the United States, supporting those in conflict and war with supplies, shelter, food, abroad, all things happening in the world right now. And they bond us in very unique ways. I promised some science. So what is it exactly that profoundly bonds us? Well, neurologically, the reward centers in our brain get activated when we do good, releasing chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. And these feel-good chemicals improve our mood, and they create social connection. Between 2017 and 2019, a number of comparative fMRI studies showed that the reward centers in our brain light up when we help someone. And a meta-analysis of 36 studies showed definitively that there's this intrinsic reward system throughout our body. What happens in our brain affects everything else in our body. Thanks to our nervous system, what we think impacts how we feel. So continuous acts of kindness lead to less stress, better sleep, increased happiness, and a sense of purpose. What could be better than that? I'll tell you. Not only do we know of the brain and body rewards of the giver, we also know those of the receiver. And there's a ripple effect that happens to those around us. You see, as humans, we naturally are wired to mimic the behavior of other people. We mirror their behavior. When we see people do good, we're more likely to do good. It's a beautiful relationship. What I'm talking about here is that word I just used, relationship. You see, generosity builds trust, and it's trust that creates strong relationships, not just now, but into the future. Being generous isn't just about the good things it brings to us and those around us. There are also economic advantages. Charitable giving spurs innovation. It also leads to support for vital systems, which in turn lead to economic stability and growth. Leaders who prioritize generosity see lower turnover rates, increased happiness and loyalty, better outcomes, more productivity, and return on investment. Harvard Business Review regularly runs articles that link leadership IQ with acts of generosity, showing that the more intelligence one has, the more kind they generally are to those that they work with. Those who lead generously, who really care for and invest in the people around them, have the best outcomes. So I've talked a lot for a few minutes on all the things that happen to us and around us. But what I want to drive home is really the title of this talk, the me to the we. Did you know we are the only species on Earth that is truly generous? True. I did a lot of research into primate behavior, and while primates can be generous, it's limited in its scope, it's limited in the cohort of those it's willing to share with and for how long, and doesn't look too far into the future. It's not like humans. The way we mentor those that come after us, the way we listen when someone needs to be heard, the way we stand on stages and share ideas, no matter how scared we are, with no idea who will hear them, who will watch. But we have ideas that we think are worth sharing that might help someone else. And so we take that risk for others. Someone may hear a talk, they share it with their family, and whatever lesson learned may ripple down generations that the person who gave that talk will never know. And we do that because we believe in ourselves and our collective unity. As humans, we have the power, superpower, to build a future where generosity is a core value, simply by integrating generous acts into our everyday life. Small things. I challenge you to take what you've heard here and to start today, right now. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be grand. Every day, do something small but generous for someone else and for yourself, and watch as you transform your world, your brain, your body, your relationships, and the world around you. As the saying goes, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. Thank you.